Hey, my name is Siddiqi, and today we are going to be here answering all of your guys' questions about how to start a research use peptide company in 2026. All of your questions that have been sent to me, I'm making this video to answer all of them, so hopefully I can do the best job that I can. Number one, Ruby Lover 5971 asks, when you make this money, do you tell the IRS you sell peptides, and is this legal? Well, Ruby, I love your name. And yes, this is completely legal. Selling research use peptides has been around for a very long time, and the recent influx of attention doesn't make it any more legal than it was before to now. So to answer your question in the simplest way, yes, it is completely legal. However, the way that you go about setting up your business is how you stay compliant and be able to scale over a long period of time. For example, the recent FDA letters that have gotten set out to really the top companies that are scaling in the wrong way has been rooted in their malpractice when it comes to marketing. So that being said, selling research use peptides means that you need to be able to market your company in a way that stays in line with those rather strict guidelines. So I hope that answers your question. Number two, Orito Shorts. I hope I'm not butchering your name. He asks, how can I scale with meta ads and Google ads? And this is a very tricky question, and I'm gonna do my best to answer this, but the simple answer is yes, you're able to do it. However, it comes down to where you are positioned as a company and how you wanna scale your company. So for example, my company has been rooted in referrals and the trust that I have built with my clients by keeping the lines of communication rather open. Yes, we've tried social media marketing and it has, it's brought a little bit of lead flow into the company, but it hasn't been our main source of income, mainly for the reason of trust. When you think of peptides as a whole, the biggest thing that you must focus on as a business is maintaining the trust with your clients, the new and the old. So as a business owner in the peptide space, you have a responsibility to keep those lines of communication very open. So to answer that question, meta ads and Google ads, yes, it's possible. It's very tricky and you have to go around certain guidelines, and it doesn't stay in line with terms of service for all those social media companies, and you have to really learn how to set up these different gateways, and it's something that once you hit a certain threshold that you want to overcome, then that's when you start to get into social media marketing. So yes, it's possible. No, I don't suggest in the beginning. So that answers your question. Okay, number three, Joseph Azuelos, I hope I'm not butchering your name. Joseph Azuelos 8464 asks, why would you want us to be your direct competitor? I love when I get this question, and it's a very simple answer. The peptide market is humongous, and I couldn't even try to capture even 1 or 2% of the whole market, and it's constantly growing right now. So to be completely transparent, my business alone has about 200 consistent clients with an average order value of anywhere from $250 to $300, which brings us roughly $50,000 to $60,000 a month in revenue. And a majority of those clients are located in my personal network in the area that I live at. So no, I'm not worried about you taking my clients, because the reason why I believe that is we have built such a strong brand and communications with our clients that even if you were to come to them and offer them the exact same product, which all peptides are the same, I know they would always choose our company first because they believe in us, our product, our brand, and they trust us. The best way I can answer that, Joseph, is no, I'm not worried about you taking my clients. So please go start your own business. Number four, Rasta Lord 1 asks, how much does your roadmap cost? Rasta, we don't have a fixated price for our roadmap. The reason for that is because my company, Oz Consulting, is a 90-day done with you program. We don't just send you a document that says how to get from point A to point B, because your path to success, whatever that is defined for you, is going to be very different than my path and any other of my clients' paths. So there's no way for me to put together a document that is going to work for everybody. That being said, that's why we have the done with you program, so I can work with you and build that exact plan. So I hope that makes sense. And what I will tell you in terms of the pricing, it's a 4-figure investment. And it's the reason for that is because we know we are the best in the game and have the best success rate with everybody that we've worked with. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, number 5, that Wonker N guy asks, does your supplier also provide endotoxin testing and COAs, or do you test yourself? Okay, this question gets brought up very, very often, and yes, our supplier provides very surface level COAs, and 100% that is good for you as a business owner before proceeding with any new supplier. However, from a customer perspective, it is imperative that you get the third-party testing done on your own so that your own personal labels can be on the test results. Think for a second, if you are buying product from a new company and you see a blank test result with a blank vial on it, how do you know that test result is for that specific company? That being said, that is what sets you apart. Having custom lab results with your vial having your label on it is what can set you apart. So that is what I would say. Yes, we provide test results from our supplier. However, I suggest everybody to go do your own third-party testing to publish on your website. Okay, number 6, James Stock I9K asks, what payment processor for startups with no history? That's an amazing question. That again comes up very often in this industry, and however, unfortunately, if I gave you guys the answer, I would be taking away from our clients that we provide our personal payment processor with. That being said, if you want to get started with a payment processor that works with companies with zero history, you can then work with us. We get you directly connected with them. They're a really great, consistent, reliable payment processor that has been in the high-risk industry game for over 20 years and have had zero problems with them. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, number 7, last question. Russian Bozsky asks, how important is a website? I cannot stress how important it is to have a highly optimized website in this space. That being said, if you go look at all the brands really in this industry, top to middle to bottom, that are doing well and or not doing well, you really find that the one bottleneck is the fact that they don't have a very good website, visually appealing all the way to the final checkout. When your customer enters your website, they should see exactly what your product is and have a very easy path to giving you money. Having that put in place is what can set you apart. This is one of the easiest ways to stand out to new clients, alongside the fact that you aren't going to be losing people in that path to checkout. As a business, you want to capture the most amount of money, and the way that you do that is having a website that is put in place to capture the money. And yes, having a visually nice website is important. However, to keep you compliant so that you don't get shut down, it is really important that you don't have any sort of language on your site that references human consumption. You need a compliant website that is ready for conversion and to take orders in from day one. With all that being said, my company, Oz Consulting, works with our clients and produces the best websites known to mankind in the peptide game, with a highly optimized, conversion-ready website that is visually appealing. And by working with our agency, it's all gonna be custom built for you without you having to worry about the headache. You can't use Shopify. WooCommerce has been getting shut down recently, and I'm gonna put on screen hopefully a few examples of the websites that we built. So take a second and see these different sites. So that's all the questions. Thanks for watching. If you want to work with our consulting agency that is going to help you get from point A to point B, help you start if you're in the beginning of your peptide company lifespan, or already taking orders and you want to scale to that next level, there's going to be a link down below to book a call, and hopefully I can see you guys all there. Thank you for watching. Peace.